In a tea party, tea is never the point. Have you ever wanted something for so long that it became almost part of who you are? Nothing fancy or expensive, but something beautiful, simple, elegant. For me, that was a tea party. It's interesting because I didn't grow up going to tea parties. We certainly drank tea every afternoon, but it was simply tea at home. Nothing fancy, nothing elaborate, nothing interesting about them. The tea parties that I had fancied only existed in the books I read. I remember reading The Hiding Place by Corrie. There were scenes where someone hurried to buy a cake. The kettle was boiling. People were dressing up. The clock was ticking as guests were expected. It all sounded so elegant. In the novel Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf, it begins with Clarissa deciding to buy the flowers herself because she was hosting a tea party that evening. Even before the party begins, you can almost feel the anticipation in the air. As a child growing up in rural parts of India, these books painted a beautiful picture in my imagination. Beautiful teapots, delicate teacups, delightful treats, and people gathering in beautiful dresses simply because they enjoyed one another's company. It felt so graceful, intentional, magical. Perhaps that is why every little girl in my family received a toy tea set from me as one of their first gifts. Maybe I was really buying it for myself. Somewhere deep inside, I loved the idea of what a tea party represented. Then life happened. I moved to America. Nearly 30 years passed, and ironically, I never attended a tea party. Not one. I began to think perhaps tea parties only existed in novels and in olden days. One day, my best friend at work invited a few of us to have tea together once a week in the cafeteria. Now, this wasn't an English afternoon tea. She called it a tea ceremony. She brought the most beautiful, little delicate, little Japanese tea set. Every week, she introduced us to a different tea. Jasmine tea, oolong tea, roasted rice green tea, and even rosebud tea. Each one had its own aroma and its own story. Sometimes we would each bring a small snack to share, nothing elaborate, just three of us gathering once a week to enjoy this tea ceremony in a quiet corner at work. Looking back, those afternoons became some of my most favorite memories. I loved every minute of them. Yet somehow, I still imagine the English tea party from my books. The one with hats, laces, tiered trays, and beautiful china. I wanted that. I wondered if I would ever experience it at least once in my lifetime. Even as I turned 50, that dream was still there. Life always seemed too busy. Besides, in my culture, if you invite people over, you prepare a feast, a meal. Simply serving tea and little sandwiches would even seem insulting. So I admired my teapots, collected more teacups, and quietly put them away back in the cabinet. Then one day, my daughter's mother-in-law suggested hosting a bridal shower for her as a tea party. Yes, I said immediately. And everyone must dress up, hats, gloves, laces, frills, flowers, polka dots, printed dresses. We are doing it the right way, I said. For the first time in my life, I felt confident and supported to create the tea party I had imagined since childhood. I went all in. I added more teacups to my collections, tiered trays, cake knives. I added them all. Fresh flowers too. We served scones, cookies, varieties of pastries, and beautiful macaroons of various colors, tea sandwiches, wraps, little desserts. Everything that looked as delightful as it tasted. And because it was a bridal shower, it was ladies only. We encouraged everyone to dress up as extravagantly as they wished. And they did. They arrived wearing beautiful dresses, elegant hats, pearls, gloves, flowers, every little detail. Everyone entered into the joy of it. For just one afternoon, we became little girls again, delighting in beauty without any apology. It was everything I had imagined. My daughter's mother-in-law, she did her best. She brought the most beautiful treats, decorations, serving platters, beautiful things. She elegantly set up these tables. I was so grateful. I must have been the most happiest person on that occasion. It was better than what I had read in books and seen only in my imagination. As I looked around the room, something dawned on me. The tea wasn't what made it special. It wasn't the beautiful teapots. It wasn't the fine china. It wasn't even the beautiful food. Not the tea trays or the cakes. It was the people, the laughter, the conversations, the photographs, the memories we were creating together. The tea had simply given us a reason to gather. It made me wonder how many things in life are like that. We think we are chasing the event, the vacation, the dream house, the perfect meal, the beautiful table, the perfect party. But often, what we are really longing for is the connection, belonging, the community. Moments that slow us down enough for us to truly see one another. So I have decided something. This is how I want to host from now on. Less time standing over hot, greasy pots trying to impress everyone. More time creating beautiful places where people simply enjoy being together. Simple food, delightful treats, beautiful tea, unhurried conversations. Because perhaps hospitality was never about the menu. Perhaps it has always been about making people feel seen. Now, if you have been waiting for permission or a reason to host your little gathering, consider this your invitation. You don't need expensive china. You don't need a perfect house. You don't even need to serve tea. Gather your people. Set the table, light a candle, make ordinary moments beautiful, because in the end, tea was never really the point. People were. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me today. Here at NRA Girl, we are simply learning together how to pursue a noble character, resilient faith, and intentional living. Until next time, let us live thoughtfully. NRA Girl with love.